It doesn't matter.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the LegacyKnitz podcast. My name is Chelsea.
My name is Sue,
I am the daughter mother.
mother, grandmother.
I am hailing to you from Vermont
Connecticut.
for a little while longer. This
About
might be our last podcast before you move.
it might be very easily. I was talking on Periscope this morning. We did a live with Rachel to announce a lot of what's going to be happening about our yarn and how there's a great mal coming up. But I
Next
was
level.
saying how we both finally realized that it's we're going to be together.
Yes, and I honestly don't like. Of course, logically, I knew this, but I didn't acknowledge everything that comes along with it. The
Same.
the last minute lunch date, the library visits, the having the guys take the kids and we get a whole day to just play or go out and peruse and want those things were never brought to the forefront because it was just like, oh, awesome, like mom and dad will be here, we'll get to spend time with them. But the
Mhm.
granularity of us spending time together in a really special way.
I know, because a lot of my friends keep not people I know, I shouldn't say my friends, my acquaintances are once the grandkids hit 7 or 8, they're not going to want to be with you. And I'm like, A, I don't believe that's true. And B, so what? I've got Chelsea.
Uh-huh. And it doesn't matter if they want to or not, they will be because I will be.
Exactly. And I don't know, it's just the whole piece of we have not had that for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's like that. And then the added extras, we also get Kristen.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, oh my gosh. And I believe you are, we're such less, you could say I'm taking the girls to the gym and I'll be like, just gonna meet you there so I can watch you and I'll take you guys to lunch.
Yeah, right.
I think I've been so wrapped up in the difficulty of it, which I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I was wrapped up in that because I want to kind of process it and keep moving. I know it'll still hit me when I'm there, but I don't know. I'm finally to the point of this is really happening. This is really, I mean, this office, that sink is being removed next week. This office is no longer a dye space. I have no ability to dye anymore while I'm here. Um, it, it's just kind of pieces are starting to fall into place really beautifully, which I believe in that. Not to say, oh, it's so easy. It's hard, but it also, if you have the awareness, things start to fall into place. And just with this giant sale we're having, it's everything is just it's syncing up perfectly. And it's exciting. I'm super excited.
I want to know how your final dye day felt.
So good. So good. So good. I can't remember. I dyed the last 2 colors of Advent. So we have 20 colors dyed, which is amazing. I really wanted 25, but I was really pushing it and I wasn't feeling like I had no idea for the last 5. That and then the big skein we have to dye, which I'm going to be relying on you a lot for that one, which I'm so excited. Um, so I was feeling like I was rushing. If I were to do those last 5, oh, let's just get them done, which it just didn't feel good to me. It felt like it was not going to be my best. It was so I'm so glad that I allowed myself to say 20 is plenty. To have 20 done the middle of May,
Before the summer even starts.
started. We killed it. I'm so happy. And there's so much goodness in those 20 that I'm so
I
excited
know
about.
it's my favorite one you've ever dyed.
Same, the last one. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to release that one to the world. And I think we're going to try to put it near the beginning. Well, maybe not, because I don't do a lot of dyeing in December anyways. It might be a New Year's, bam.
Yeah,
Um,
pulling from the ad.
yeah. So anyways, it felt terrific to answer your question. and it opened up so much space. But on top of it, that was probably less than a week ago. I don't even remember what day I stopped.
I have such a horrible sense of time anyway. Something could have been 3 days ago, and I would have been like, "That was, like, 2 weeks ago."
Yeah, same, same. So the bottom line is I am already so excited about like setting up the space and starting to dye again. Like, I don't know, like let's say what I love. I love getting up and putting on normal clothes.
Mhm.
I love that. Like, I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. Of course, I really do because we're getting down to deep cleaning, but
Right.
it's not the same as dyeing. Dirt doesn't ruin clothes, dye does. So that part I'm loving. I'm super excited. I'm honestly, this is the funniest part. Like today, I'm feeling so excited. By tonight, I could be like crying,
Totally, totally.
which I'm fine with. I'm literally fine with it.
Every high comes a low, and that's okay. Like you said, you just honor it, you ride through it, and
Exactly. So, but I'm feeling, I think dad's feeling the overwhelm that's kind of left my body now. Um, I'm just feeling on top of it. It's probably a false sense that I have right now. But again, when I'm in that space, I get so much done. So
who cares?
it benefits me.
Right, right.
So yeah. So I want to say we're having this huge sale, but I feel like by the time this goes up,
Who knows
most
if
of
there
the
will be
stuff
any.
will be gone.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing to clarify is for anybody that is like hasn't been aware of what's going on. I am moving to Vermont. We are shutting the shop down, but we are not closing the shop.
It's an interim. It's while mom and dad move and while we get them settled into their new space. We just won't
And
be able.
I just feel like, especially today, because I put in like all the work yesterday to get all the yarn ready to sell, and then you did your piece of it. And I can't help but feel so grateful for our little piece in this community because they've been supporting us forever and they're supporting us through this move. And it's pretty amazing. Like I'm not nervous about shutting the shop down for a couple months.
No.
I'm not like, oh gosh, that's not good for business. I feel so confident in it because of our amazing customer base.
Mm. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It definitely is very like it's a very like peaceful feeling. And I know you are in a much different place than I am, but even just like having the sale going, knowing that like the yarn is clearing out, knowing that that piece of the puzzle is off of your plate, it makes me feel better. Like just know because I can't be there all the time helping. So at least knowing that the yarn will be a piece of the puzzle that's removed after the next couple of days.
Gone. And it makes us feel so good because in like this sale, the mystery sale, I went right to our racks and just pulled all the yarn off. And so you're getting like our colorways, and it's not like, oh, this was laying in the corner for a year. It's like, no, I just keep going down and grabbing more yarn off the rack.
Yep.
And we think that this was the best way to attack it. It seems to have been very successful. And I'm just so happy that our loyal customers are getting all this great yarn for like a really hefty discount. And it's just working for both sides, which I love.
Well, it's also nice
So
too because anybody that can't typically afford indie dyed yarn, like it is so heavily discounted, but also so freshly dyed that like you're getting the same experience as if a socket was $44 for $25. And it's just kind of
exactly.
nice to also offer that to maybe part of the community that doesn't typically shop indie dyed yarn for understandable reasons. So,
A- Absolutely. So yeah, so I'm so grateful that we can do that. And it again, it serves both sides so beautifully. And that makes me feel good about it
um,
because it's not a one-sided deal.
yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. And it's been super fun because I feel like we've been like connecting with a lot of people that we haven't like really worked alongside. Like Rachel is a great example. She's going to be doing the make along with us, and like that's going to be so fun. And it's already kind of like informally started.
It it starts on Memorial Day and it goes till Labor Day. And so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So you have all the real information, so I'll just give the glimpse of it and then you can give all the good details. I'm so irresponsible. I did the same thing to Rachel this morning. Like, I'll talk about it for a minute and then I'll give it all to you.
Oh, that's okay.
But so Rachel in her brilliance, she is just a idea man extraordinaire. So she said to me, she said, I think we should do a knit your legacy stash along. And originally it was a cal, but of course we just assume a cal includes crocheters, but we forget to talk about it. So we made it into a mal, and it also could work for weavers and
Totally.
all of that, if they're using our yarns. So it's a knit your legacy stash, and it's running all summer, and it's go and find all your stash, and we have all the categories, which I'll let you share. I'm so excited about the prizes because it's another huge thank you to all of our supporters. Um, so yeah, Rachel, I couldn't love her more. She knows that, I tell her all the time, but she has just taken this and run with it. I woke up to the email that I gave you. I'm like, to have the ability to do this, like for me, it's scraps of paper. You're much more like Rachel. But for
I have
me, it's scraps. Yeah, it's scraps of paper everywhere with notes, and nope, she had it all outlined for us. And it's like, so I think that's it. I'm going to let you take over and give all the fine details.
I'm going to recommend strongly that everybody follow Rachel on both Instagram and on YouTube for a multitude of reasons. Go ahead.
And the vital part is you have to sign up for her newsletter, because she is going to be outlining all the information so you can print it out, so you have it, because there's a lot of information that you need for this make along.
Perfect. Thank you for including that because I would not have known to do that. So I will put all of her information at the very top of the details bar down below. So please go follow her. But I'm going to give the most important information, which is start date, end date, categories, and prizes, because
Yes,
oh my gosh,
they're so
so
good.
fun. And I also wanted to mention Kay Litton, the crazy sock lady, runs a summer sock camp every year, started today. Today is Friday, the 25th. And so you can like double yes, I'm knitting a pair of socks. I'm finishing one today. So she is another one you can double dip. We have the splash pad party with Boston Jen. You can double dip. There are just so
Yeah.
many really fun informal make-alongs going on. So like use this as like use one of these as like your foundation, and then just pop along into all the other groups, enter in for prizes. It's what makes summer making fun. It's not super formal. Like have fun
I
with it.
cannot wait to be settled, because all of this is like, oh, I just want to sit and like participate. It's
Yeah.
like I haven't sit in so long,
Yeah.
and that's all I want to. But yeah.
Yeah. And so just a few things that I also wanted to say is like, why are we doing this? One, the shop is shutting down. So obviously we want y'all to be knitting with our yarn because it always makes us feel so special seeing things on Instagram or wherever with y'all knitting our yarn. So that is just kind of like an added bonus for us to still feel connected to everyone in this community. Rachel is also rejuvenating, re-enlivening her YouTube presence. So that's going to kind of be, we're going to be helping her in that way. She's going to be helping us in this way. So that is the reason that we're doing this for, and who knows, like maybe we'll do it every summer. Who knows? Who knows? Wouldn't that
I
be fun?
well, and this morning on the Periscope Instagram live, I shouldn't be knitting and talking at the same time because I'm gonna lose my train of thought. That's how like busy my brain is. Oh, Denise suggested to, because everyone's going and gathering all their stuff, like their old advents and all their legacy stuff. And she suggested like doing a flash your stash for the event, which would be super fun, and label it with the hashtag. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
And Rachel was there for that, so she knows.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, she was there for that. Yes.
sweet. Okay, so now let's get into, did I already say starts Memorial Day, ends Labor Day? So
Yes.
2 dates to easily remember. Now let's talk about prize categories.
And can I interject? I'm so sorry.
Please.
So the thing that I love the most about this make along is for the large prizes, they are not random picks. They are very creative. They are very um like it again, all Rachel. I had nothing to do with that. Like she came with the categories and I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking random pick. Something about the categories makes it so exciting. I don't know what it is, but it, and also because I'm going to forget, um, there are people who want to donate prizes. For those, we're going to do random picks at certain times.
Yes. Yes. Through the hashtag, it looks like, based on her notes. So make sure you're active on Instagram using the hashtag, which is that what it is? Legacy Fiber Arts Knit Your Stash Cal, but I feel like she probably changed it. I'll put it on the screen here so you can actually see it.
Yes, it's going to be that, but a Mal, so it's a make along.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to do it.
Do the categories first.
Prize categories. 1, most legacy fiber arts yarn yards used. 2, most creative. 3, favorite use of color. 4, favorite scrappy project. And 5, most socks knit. So if you have any questions about the categories, head to Rachel. She can answer all of your questions about, because I know I'm sure there'll be like fine details like, do whips count, kid socks versus adult socks, all of that fun stuff.
Yes, and I actually have that information because we worked through it this morning. So it is
Okay.
adult socks, but they can be shorties. And you cannot use knitting machines for any of this. And I feel really badly saying that because I do believe knitting machines are knitting, but it's an unfair advantage. So we have to say no to that. Does it have to be 100% legacy? We're looking for like 80, like if you're knitting a sock, but your heels and toes aren't. If you're in the middle of a scrappy blanket and you used most of our yarn, but not all, that's okay. You can use whips, but I think Rachel said like 20% done. Like not like a stash dash event where you get all of them and then you just do the final bit. That we're not encouraging.
Right. Okay, that's
So,
perfect. Amazing, amazing. Okay, now for the prizes. So, from us, we are donating or we are providing one of our 2023 advent calendars, which is titled and themed A Visit to the North Pole, which again, this is my favorite advent calendar we've ever put out.
same.
Ever. So like I cannot say it enough because I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. Like this is going to be epic. So that's a really fun one. We are also going to be giving away one of our 4 Sundays of Advent micro sock kits.
Which
Right.
has not been determined yet, but will be very shortly and will be going up for sale very shortly.
Yes. So we have not even listed those yet. So don't fear, like if you hear us talking about this, no, you didn't miss anything. We just have not listed them yet, but we will be donating one of those for a prize. 1 sweater's quantity of yarn, which is super amazing because I'm guessing they can probably pick any colorway, any amount of skeins.
They can pick anything. The only thing is if they pick a one that we don't have in stock, you might have to wait just a little bit till I get it, kind of thing. But
Totally.
yeah, you can pick what you
Amazing. And then it says $100. How many gift certificates are we giving? 1?
want.
One, and an $100 gift certificate to our online shop, which is super exciting because when we reopen, we're gonna have a lot of brand new colorways hitting the shop. So, like, whoever gets this gift card is gonna have the benefit of being able to, like, swoop in and grab any of our new fresh colorways.
So excited.
So those are the prizes that we are going to be doing, and then
And then can I add one? So at the last big prize, I don't know if she moved it up, is a $75 gift certificate to Rachel's shop.
yes, that's what I was getting to. So
Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
oh, well, I was for us, but then it says from our friends. So Rachel, like mom said, at treehousefiberarts.com, she is giving a $75 gift card. A Finch's Nest, who is Heather. A Finch's Nest is her handle on Instagram and YouTube. She is going to be donating, wow, a beautiful handmade project bag out of Rifle Paper Co. fabric, which is like the cream of the crop, like it's the best fabric.
Yes.
And then one last note, which I'm sure you remember, if an international customer wins, what we are going to do is we are going to give them a gift certificate to the shop equal in the amount of the prize.
Yes.
Does that
It's just the shipping gets so dicey as far as like, it's hard. Shopify doesn't make it easy to manipulate that. And then the post office makes it even harder. Like, I just can't figure out all the codes and all that. So we like, especially in the morning, we have a lot of international people that come on, and I can't stand the thought of not including them. So it will be a gift certificate to that for that amount.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
So those are the really fun things you need to know about. Yeah, we're just super excited about it. And, if you have any questions, you can throw them down in the comments, or you can head to Instagram, or you can email us, all of those things.
Yes. Yes. But I will tell you, like, really, really signing up for Rachel's newsletter is vital to get all the information and have it all laid out, because it's just easier than having to remember.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm so, so, so excited about it.
Mhm. It
I
is.
think
It's
it's,
just going to be such a nice way to stay connected to the community as we're in this transitional period. Like, it'll just be really nice.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay, I think so. How about this? How about we hit a few more little notes that we have to let them know about, and then we can kind of show a couple projects. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was going to talk about how right now Advents are in the shop, but once the sale is over, probably the only two things in the shop will be Advents and the 4 Sundays of Advent kits.
Hmm. Yep.
Just-
Yes. Yes. So, and then at that point, and it'll be in the banner too, like, don't expect to see new yarn listed until we are settled in, and you can keep up with all of that through our newsletter and our Instagram. So we don't even have a guess as to when that will happen at this point, just because.
No,
Yep.
my guess is September 1st would be like I think we'll be in before that and up and running before that. But we're also going to want to get, like, we don't want to just open and have nothing. We want to take some time and plan what that's going to look like. And
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, and it kind of goes along with what you just said, the DK mini skein mystery club is not going to be available for June or July. Is that what we decided?
June or July for sure. There's no question. August will be iffy, but don't, like, I'm not looking at it as it's going to end in December. I think we should extend it for the amount of time that we've had to shut it down.
So there will be total 12 months of mini skeins available.
Yes. Yes, at least. And then we can go from there. I may be completely out of colors by then, but I'm not sure. But it's been fun revisiting old colors for those. It's been really fun. The other thing we do still have a handful of in the shop that is a new colorway is our summer berries. Oh,
So
right here, sorry. I love it so much.
it's such a gorgeous color.
And this, I love it. It's the heel toe do si do. I'm so happy with it. This one hasn't been relabeled. So yeah,
So
I love it so much.
me too.
And I have to say, I love knitting sock patterns. I have to say, I'm not just a solid sock every once in a while, but very rarely.
Yeah.
Because to me, they take more than patterns because patterns are so engaging,
Yeah.
right? I just can't stop. So I love it.
Totally
And I
get it.
love the subtlety of it. Again, if you have a man in your life who is very traditional, very conservative, I feel like this makes, I mean, it's still kind of poppy, but
I love it.
I love it. So yeah. I was like, shoot, what did I do with my sock blockers? Because I have packed so much stuff.
You were like, I can't believe it was like 0 to 100.
Yeah. It's how I roll.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Once the decision's made, it's like, okay, let's make it happen. Like the fly's like the size of a hummingbird in my office.
Uh,
Flies. I think they're the most disgusting creatures.
they're putrid.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit of knitting, if you don't
Nice.
mind, if that sounds good.
Oh, are you kidding? That's all I want to do right now.
You know.
Did you see? Oh my gosh, because you're wearing your sweater. Did you see Brooklyn Tweed's the reading room sweater? I'm looking it up and
No.
showing you. I want to make it. It's my first thing I'm going to do.
The reading room, what's it like?
Like it's like your sweater. A
Really?
little more structured.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to find it. You know what we talked about earlier. Once I have an audience, I can't find anything.
Oh, I know, I know. Well, we can talk about my sweater while you're looking it up. I am wearing the Seasons cardigan by Ozetta, and I'm obsessed with it. It is knit out of 100% acrylic yarn. It is my lounge around, garden around, uh, look at what the girls already got onto. I need to throw it in the wash, and I just haven't because oh wait, is it gone? Oh no, yeah, paint on it already. Like it's just one of those like knock around sweaters that I love having available to me. I like the color, I like the fit, I like it all. I still have not put buttons
So
on. I don't even care.
well, this is interesting because, all right, I'm going to show you. It is so, I want to make this so badly.
Wowzers. That's is it Fisherman's Rip?
They call it something else. Oh, they called it something else. Hidden short rows, reading cardigan unisex boxy fit. Oh, of course, now it's not on here. Knitted ribbed cardigan, but they had a name for it.
Interesting.
I think it is bottom line, but I have to keep showing you because there's more. Like,
It's so cozy.
I want you to see. Oh, you can't really see it on this one.
I wonder what weight yarn it is. Does it say?
I really want Brooklyn tweed.
There's nothing like
Maybe
Brooklyn.
that'd be my treat. I was talking about it. Yeah, it's stunning. I don't know if it's a New England trait. I feel like it is kind of a New England thing, but I feel like after this is done, I am going to have earned something pretty big.
Yeah.
I think that's what,
Wait, why
don't
would
you
that be a
think?
New England thing?
That whole like you have to earn your reward kind of thing. It's a way of work.
In-
Like that's how New Englanders think. In order to rest, you have to, which I don't feel that way at all. I just feel during stressful times that I deserve a prize.
Totally. Well, and honestly, like I will say I do feel more relaxed when I earn it. There's just a sense of accomplishment that comes with it. Because like if I'm in the middle of my day and I'm like tired and I lay down, I'm like I just feel like that about myself that I didn't do anything before. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Even though you know that's incorrect thinking, like that is just not, and I'm struggling with it with this move because like one day I just completely shut down and couldn't do anything and I stitched all day. And I felt so bad because dad, of course, is bustling around and And I was just like, "Oh, I don't like that." But I
Don't
couldn't move.
don't
I
look
was
at me,
just
don't
like,
look at
"I
me.
can't." I know, like, does he notice that I'm still sitting in this room? So, and now I don't know, it's a work ethic. I don't know if it's a New England thing. I'll be curious.
Yeah,
I feel like when I was traveling and teaching for years, that's where I became aware of it.
interesting.
But I could be.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that's that pattern's gorgeous. I don't know that I'll knit it because it is so similar to this one, but I
So
could
similar. Yeah, if I had made that one, I probably wouldn't. I have the cardigan or the
pull up.
pullover, and I wanted to make the cardigan next. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do that one instead.
I can't wait to see the yarn you choose.
Can't either.
I cannot stop yarning.
Oh my gosh. I wake up tired. I literally wake up like my eyes are like heavy. It's like,
Today, that's how I woke up, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm gonna show you. I'll show you. I'm just gonna give you a glimpse at my blanket because it really like there's not much to say about it. Everyone who is watching this probably already knows what I'm knitting, but I will give the details as I'm showing. So I am using our Mystery DK Mini Skein Club every month, and then when I run out, I go and I find my own scraps, or I will skein up a whole skein and I'll just use part of that because I'm.
I've,
Say it again.
I've done that.
Yeah, because it's
Can
just
I
like
tell you, any knitters that live in my area and go to Goodwill, if you saw, they have the best stuff right now because I don't have the ability to sell it all. I don't have the ability. I just didn't. It was like Goodwill bound. They're probably like, who is this insane person and why does she have this much yarn she's bringing to me?
you
So
have
I had a lot of like,
you
oh,
have
go
made
ahead.
you've made somebody or somebody's days,
Yeah.
week, months.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you've got
That
to
makes me feel really good.
totally, because you've got to assume the people pricing it at Goodwill, unless they are a knitter, which, there's a
I have
chance,
no
but
clue.
they have no clue. So they're probably like, oh, 50 cents a skein is fine. And they're probably just saying, like, truly, like, if it's yarn, it's yarn, if you don't know what it is. So
I
if you,
guarantee it.
yeah,
They probably just sold it by the bags. And I thought, oh, somebody is getting the deal of a lifetime. And I'm
you
really
may,
happy about that.
yeah, somebody walked in there and was like, and grabbed it all.
Yeah.
So let me show you the
So,
blanket. This is the Jelly Roll blanket by Kay Jones. And it is originally written for fingering weight yarn. We've adapted it to be DK weight yarn. The only thing you have to do to make that happen is adjust your needle size. Other than that, follow the pattern however much you'd like to. As you can see, I've adjusted the width on some of these rows, but I've kind of just gone back to the standard stitch count recently, which I'm not going to share because it is a pay for pattern, but it's
I
huge.
love it.
This is going to be like our family blanket where like if we're all cuddling on the couch, it will just go right across all of us. It's massive.
I love it.
I'm gonna stand up and see.
Oh my gosh. It's so perfect.
I love it so much. And I'm going to do an I-cord bind or border, I think, if I'm not too lazy by the time I'm done.
You, you will.
I think I will because I'm just going to like that little bit of polish
I
around.
agree.
So anyways, that's what I'm knitting on as we're sitting here chatting.
Would you like to see what I pulled out? Well, I have two. I'm all about the blankets. How many more blankets am I going to have? Like, I have so many. I pulled out my fingering weight one.
No way. Are you loving it?
Love it.
I don't know if I
And I
could.
still have the DK one.
You still what?
I still have the DK one that I'm working on, and I love that. I love it. I love mindless knitting, but then I also pulled out something else, which is almost done.
What is it? Your hair looks so good also, by the way.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying this was my natural color forever.
Like,
And
it's so fresh looking.
I love it. I finally was like, you know what? I don't like a bleach blonde look for me. Like that's just not me. But my hair was this color till I was
Oh,
40.
yeah.
Yeah. So I feel more like myself. It's really weird. The day I got it done, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like when I look in the mirror, I look like myself again.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't for the longest time. And so, you know what? I always say, oh, I want to go gray. But you know what? I feel like I look like myself.
Yes. Well, and not only, like, the color is on point, but, like, the texture, the way it's falling, like, it looks like
I'm leaving my little hairdresser behind.
I can give you mine, but I know it won't be the same.
Well, as long as I have a real thing about like I don't like my goal is not to look younger than I am. I like to look, but I still want to look fresh.
Yeah.
So that's what I worry about. Like even with Tia, who I love, I'm always like, Tia, I don't want to look like a bleached blonde. I want to have the highlights. I haven't done highlights in a long time.
So good.
And last time it was really dark. It was like, I don't even know who I'm looking at. It's so weird.
Right.
Thank you. But
Well,
look what I filled back up.
oh, I need to do this because I've been watching Molly knit on hers, and now with you knitting on yours, I'm like, oh.
This is all I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
And then you're done. Are you going to do any kind of a border?
I-cord. Now it's really weird because I can't say like, oh, I love it because it's got like really weird. Like when I first started back knitting with the indie dyers, and it's like there's yarn on here that I don't even know where I got it or what it is. But for me, this was the start of our podcast and the start of our business. So that's why I love it.
Yeah.
Because like now it's like all our yarns or mostly our yarns, which look totally different.
Right. I honestly don't even know if I remember how to knit a mitered square.
You do, because I didn't think I did, and you do.
I'm like trying to think about it right now. I don't even know where I would start.
Except I don't remember if I did 32 or 30. I don't know. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah. So that's the cozy memories blanket for anybody that is new to this channel and has not seen a project like this before.
I'd like to start another one, I think.
Good
I don't
move.
know. I'm ridiculous. I mean, I have 2 granny stripes, 1 granny square.
I'd love to do a DK version. That's me.
2. Yeah, I thought that too. I wonder if 1 mini skein. Anybody who's using RDKs for this pattern, I'd be curious.
Yes.
If there is anyone, let us know your numbers.
I'd
Like
be
mine, I'm pretty sure is cast on 64, 32 and 32.
oh, for fingering, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And of course, I'm using my delightful.
Signature needle.
That's why I love making blankets, honestly. I love these.
Oh.
So yeah, I've been Blanket City.
I know. I've been blanket and socks, and that is it. Like, I have really taken a huge step back in like garment knitting and everything. Like, I'm knitting the girls. So mom was so generous and she went through all of her indie dyed yarn that she was like, you know what? It's not my taste anymore. I'm not feeling it. If you'd like it, you can take it.
Or honestly, I'm just not using it. It's sitting here
Right.
forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the girls, when I got home, I kind of like I had to dump the bags so I could give them to Kristen and Benny so that they could use them to move. And when the kids saw these yarns, they were like, I want this one and this one and this one. I was like, well, what do you want? And Charlie, of course, wants socks. She loves hand knit socks. And Lily was like, me too. And
Which
I
is so new.
so new. And she loves like I had a chiropractor's appointment the day that like the morning I finished them. And she brought them in and was just like she was like, look, Dr. Tyler, they're galaxy socks. So I knit her this pair, and for anybody that's curious, I am using the Flax Light pattern by Tin Can Knits, which is a free download either on their website or on Ravelry. And I'm just using the numbers and I'm knitting vanilla socks. So I did the child size for Lily, which was, oh God, 54 stitches.
That's what you told me.
54 stitches. This yarn is by Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits Meg.
I'm surprised Charlie didn't pick that color. That's Charlie's color.
She did. And then Lily picked Flower Crown from Laura or Lara or Laura. I never know how to pronounce it.
Laura, I think. Yes.
Who doesn't dye anymore. She's not an indie dyer. So this feels really special. It's called Flower Crown, which of course Lily picked Flower Crown. But then I think once Charlie was getting so excited about this, Lily was like, oh wait, am I missing something? So she wanted a pair of Galaxy socks. I am now knitting.
I was going to say, you have enough yarn to make them each any color they want.
I'm just doing 2 pairs of any color they pick.
Oh,
Um,
that's so fun.
it's been such a blast. And then this is Charlie's first sock. It is 44 stitches cast on. I am using size US 2 needles, just DPNs, Knitter's Pride Zings. And it's just been a blast. You fly through them. It's really nice, mindless knitting if you don't want to have a blanket in your lap and like maneuvering that just around and around. And
Well, you're at the point too with the girls, like when they're outside, like they're playing. You're just getting to sit and knit, which is so nice.
yeah, it really is. And like these are yarns that like again, they're not really my taste. Like they're nothing that I would wear other than just like a pair of socks. So it's
Mhm.
just nice that they're interested in it because they're such fun yarns to knit with because they're so poppy and like Stellina, which I don't really knit with.
Same, but it's so the girls.
They love it. And this is like gold Stellina, so this will be I'm having the time of my life knitting these socks.
Yeah, I feel like we need to make them some Christmas ones for their like,
Advent or something like that.
even though I've given up, I got rid of the advent boxes. I feel like it's run its course.
It 100% has, and I think what would be even more fun is like 4 Sundays of Advent
Same.
and like having like 3 little things in a little like linen bag or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of thinking along that line too, because it just becomes it's it becomes wasteful at a certain point where it's just like, you know what, I'd rather not spend all that little money and do something bigger. So yeah, it was so fun though. But anyways,
But yeah, so I'll knit them Christmas socks too, but that's been kind of like between blankets and this, and then just kind of like wrapping up other sock whips. Like I've got this sock with patterns that I'm knitting, basic ribbed. Like I'm really just focusing on knitting socks.
it's so fun. It's so good for it's just I don't know. For me, it's like you don't have to think about it. The rhythm is so nice. And I think that's the attraction for me, just the rhythm of the needles and not having to look down. And even for the sock patterns that I do use, they're so easy. They're so easy. Like it's usually a 4-row repeat is what I unless I can see it. Like monkey socks, I can see and
Right.
I know this pattern like the back of my hand. So yeah, I'm kind of obsessed.
Love it. Do you have any other projects?
Do I? No,
Well, then I want to tell you that I started the book Happy Place by Emily Henry.
I read it.
Did you read it? Happy Place? The newer one?
I listened to it.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I did a lot. The only thing is, I feel I'm a little rom-commed out at the moment.
And see, I am itching for one because I have been doing like historical fiction and period pieces. Like I have been very in those trenches, which I've enjoyed. But now I find myself losing focus and like, I'm like, oh, like I love when I go to, and you've said this for years, love going to bed, being so excited to read. And I haven't felt that way in a long time and I'm missing it.
I haven't either, and I'm struggling to find a book.
I feel
And
like, what about like a Colleen Hoover?
I've done that. And you know what? I do a lot of listening now to books. I really do. And I love listening to her. Well, keep talking about The Happy Place. So you're liking it?
Well, I just finished the second chapter this morning. Typically like to wake up earlier before the girls, but today I was just really tired and couldn't get out of bed. So far I like it. There's not really a whole lot to like or dislike at this point.
I think that was it. It was kind of a little fluffy for me at the time.
Yeah.
Again, at the time, now with summer coming, we will be going to the library a lot.
A lot. And we need to visit other libraries too because I love Brownell, don't get me wrong. They just don't have a huge selection, and I'm pretty sure South Burlington is included in the Green Mountain Consortium, so I think our library cards will be we can
But
go around.
I will tell you, I'm extremely sad to leave the library here. I think it's one of the best, most beautiful buildings,
It's magical.
let's just say in the world. It's magical, although they took out the glass floors. Those are no longer there.
That was literally as I was saying it was magical, I was picturing the glass floors.
Oh, I
Oh,
used to get dizzy looking down, like, but I love them. I'm pretty sure they're gone. I very rarely go to the top level because it's all more like nonfiction. I tend to go to the YA and the adult.
mhm.
It's just beautiful. I love it. It's very that's a hard one. Really hard one. But we will be going to the library because summertime is my time for a rom-com.
It's the only way to do it because you don't wanna be in the trenches of a deep, heavy book as
Mhm.
you're, like, outside in the sunshine drinking lemonade. Like, it just doesn't for me, it doesn't match.
Yes, I agree. So I started The Covenant of Water, which is a big Oprah book right now. I don't remember his name, but he wrote Cutting for Stone. Did you ever read that?
No, but I've heard you mention it a couple of times.
It was one of my favorite books.
What's it about? Or, like, what's the general
You know what? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I just loved it. It's I don't even know the country it was set in. I'm so bad.
what was it, like a mystery, a thriller?
No, it's a novel. It's a
Okay.
novel and it's I don't know if it's like a family. I can't honestly, it was so long ago.
Cutting for Stone?
Cutting for Stone, like Abraham Virgins, or I don't know. But
Okay.
his new one is getting rave reviews. So I got it. I went right to my library, like the Libby app, and it was sitting there. I was like, how is this possible?
I love it when that happens.
I know, and I got it, but of course the time ran out and I'm reading 2 pages a night, but it's very good. Again, I can't really give you much information at this point because I was only at the beginning. So then I downloaded the audio.
Okay.
It's the beginning was harder to read because it used a lot, it was in a different language for a lot of things, like what
Oh,
they called things.
interesting, okay.
And I know it's fantastic. I just have to get immersed into it. So I downloaded it. It's like 31 hours. And of course, I can't listen when I'm packing orders. There's certain times that it's like,
Right.
so I'm hoping this weekend when I'm downstairs doing the final basement clean out that's when I'll listen.
That sounds like heaven.
I know.
Okay, so as long as we're talking about listening to, okay, but wait, I'm gonna rewind because when you said you're having such a hard time and you're like reading 2 pages a night, I'm in exactly the same
Did
place.
that.
It's so frustrating because I'm reading Orphan Train as well.
Oh,
And
that's so good.
I know I like flew through the first 50% and I was obsessed. And then I picked up Four Winds, the audiobook by Kristen Hanna.
Favorite book. Favorite book.
Again, another fantastic book, but the issue is they're too similar. The
Yeah.
stories are too similar. Like
Oh,
female
but
lead,
yeah, but Four Winds, holy cow. First of all, I read it during the pandemic, which it had quite an impact during the pandemic. And I realized how honestly, if I thought that the pandemic was hard, I just needed to toughen up a bit
right?
because of what they go through. And then it addresses all the systems that keep people in a certain space.
Interesting.
And that was gut wrenching for me.
Yeah.
Gut wrenching. It was just so hard to read, but I'm a huge Hannah, what's her name? Hannah
Is it Kristen Hanna?
Hannah, Kristen Hannah. Most books she's written, I really love. Some I didn't. At the beginning, I didn't, but The Four Winds, I think, was one of her best books.
Well, and I will say for anyone who is an audiobook person or over like a physical, the narration on this book is 10 out of 10. I cannot recommend it enough. It like fully immerses you. Like the performer, whoever's performing this book, I wish she would do every audiobook because it's so easy to stay locked in.
Yeah. So if at the end it allows you to send it to someone, send it to me. Because I'm
Okay.
listen to me, send it to me. No,
I will.
because
Well, no,
I
oh no, this is library though. I can't.
oh, that's a good idea though. I can go to the Libby app. I forgot about that.
Well, and that was one of the ones that was just sitting there and I was like, how is nobody listening to this? And I've had to renew it because I've fallen off because again the stories are too similar and now I'm like jumbled and I'm like, do I just stop or do I
I have a hard time reading 2 books at a time. That's one, and I used to be able to. I used to have 4 going at once when I was younger. Now I can't.
I
But I
thought one was like reading with my eyes and one was reading with my ears. It would be easier for me to stay in those lanes, but I'm struggling.
yeah, I get it. Orphan Train is fantastic though. Four Winds, did it come out 2 years? It was my favorite book of the year. Like that was the one I usually pick one every year and that was the one.
It's fantastic so far.
Yeah. It's so good and it's so like I was so like entrenched in it when I was reading it. It's like, and it really was wild reading it during the real throes of the pandemic,
Well, because it's all about the Dust Bowl, yeah.
which I knew nothing about.
I only know that it happened. I don't know any details. So this book is going to be really enlightening in a lot of ways for me.
And having said that, I read another book, I don't remember the name of it, that involved the Dust Bowl, and I could barely breathe reading it. Like literally, I was having trouble breathing while I was reading it.
Well, her description of like their lips are just constantly cracked and bleeding and like they have liquor, but not like it just sounds, yeah, like it makes me parched thinking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
See.
Don't you love to read? I love to read.
I'm at this stage where like if I had a week of solitary, like all by myself, that's what I would do. I would read a book in the morning. I would have a massive lunch. I would cook myself the most delicious massive lunch. And then at night, I would listen to an audiobook and I would knit or stitch or something like that.
Gosh, I'm right there with you. Okay. We'll put that on our list of things we're gonna do.
Let's put it on our list. But for now, I do have to go relieve Justin. So,
Okay. I
everyone,
feel like this has been really good. I feel really good about having been able to inform everyone of what's happening. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Join in the make along. Go sign up for Rachel's newsletter and follow her YouTube channel because she is bringing that back and she's so excited about it. And I'm so excited about it because
it'll be
her
really,
YouTube channel is great.
I agree. And I will link everything down below, including a link to our sale yarn. Hopefully there will be some inventory left by the time this goes up. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here with us today.
Go flash your stash, get knitting, show us, let us know what you're doing. We're so excited that you're doing it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for your continued support, both here with our business, whether you just like things, share things, watch things. We appreciate all of it. So,
So much.
yes.
All right. I want to finish getting all the orders out so I can sit and knit. That's all I want to do right now is sit and knit.
Do it.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Needles up.
We cannot do the last podcast in Connecticut without saying needles up.
Needles up.
Needles up. Bye.
Hi, Charlie. I'm just bringing my forehead.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.